lost that.
We should write that down. Have you never heard that? I've never heard that. Psychologists, they're all sorts of, they call it conditioning and training and teaching, but it's all consistent child abuse.
My daughter and her friends are trying to do the math logs. The one with the bell.
Pavlov.
Do you want to make it? Yeah.
They're trying to do that with one of their friends.
You know it works. When you went to grade school, when that bell goes off, especially if you've been in the same grade school for 8 years, the first thing you want to do is stand up.
So that they know we're
Yeah.
Because you're leaving class.
Wait.
You're like, oh,
I'm
yeah.
in class.
It never works. All right, I promised that we could this down about 45 minutes, so let's get started. It's not too bad. What do we got? Almost 20. Cool. So this is the core of SNA for this year. My name is Scott Skinner. I'm the president. Cassie Garr, secretary. Shelley Harmon, treasurer, membership secretary on the way out. Sorry, but we love her anyway. And Miss Mitchell, who's our faculty advisor. There were other officers. They don't exist anymore, and we'd like you to replace them. So this is what we're going to do this meeting, and I really want to get through this in 45 minutes because it's my wife's birthday and I want to go home. So we're going to go through, listen to reports. We're going to ask for nominations for new officers. The elections will take a week because we put them up on SurveyMonkey. We're going to discuss upcoming club events. Hopefully sign up for a few of them. We're going to talk about whether we want to be a national charter. And then you guys get to tell me everything that I forgot. Let's go quickly over officer reports. Cassie, what have you got?
So last semester, some of the things that we did were, we did the cancer drive, the blood drive, the pinning ceremony, and we also started an SNA Facebook page. So if you guys aren't on there, just try to search us, or we'll take the volunteers or the sign-up sheet, and we'll get you guys added. Other than that, that's about it.
Okay, Shelley, what you got?
I could not get a more recent report because they don't open at 8 down there in Building 1. So I can give you the deposits and information. We had a total in our fund account of $1,463.72, and then I've made 2 deposit cents, one for $1.15 and the other one for $45. So if we're going to be sending people to conference or anything, we're going to really need to look at doing some fundraisers in order to cover the cost of going. And Ms. Mitchell is working on some of the details in regards to national memberships and us versus Verdi and all of that.
Okay.
And I've updated the membership log. It should be being circulated around. There's a spot for you to check. Just put an X in the January meeting. We had a semester where they weren't keeping track of things because they didn't have a membership secretary. So if there is something from 2013, I know most of you are probably new, but some of the people who are in 4th may have had some things that weren't recorded on there. So if you do notice any discrepancies, please let me know and I'll get that updated.
On that same vein, it was pointed out to me that some of the older members might have missed their certificates for last semester. I have an old copy of first semester certificates with our faculty advisor for that time. And if we can figure out what you're missing, we can try and get you those certificates. But you have to get a hold of me. I'm not going to track it down.
You didn't specifically mention what officer positions are open.
That's next. Okay. Cool. Scott Baxter, blood drive coordinator.
Hi, everybody. I'm blood drive coordinator, and it's pretty straightforward. I get everyone into the room, but what I really need is someone to volunteer, okay, for the canteen. That's just basically handing out snacks and water and that kind of thing. Second semester, unfortunately, it falls on a Monday. It's March 23rd. Second semester is all tied up in lecture and pharmacology, so I need people to sort of fill in from the other semesters to come in like between 8 and 2. So we got the sign-up sheet right up there. You know, come to 2 of our meetings and volunteer. You get a certificate. Thank you.
Okay.
I'm sorry, I forgot to mention one other thing. if you are new or if you've had any changes, we'd really like you to fill out a new application every semester, and I have some here. We also email some out, so fill it out, and if you don't want to fill out every single thing and you've checked the log and the log is accurate, you can write on there accurate on log. But that way I keep track of who's checked in and what information is accurate, because when Debbie was doing the certificates this last semester, I couldn't get a hold of a lot of people because they didn't keep the information current with us. And if she wouldn't have been a previous member of their class's Facebook page, they wouldn't have got their cords or their certificates. So it's really important to keep us up to date.
Cool. Ms. Mitchell, our faculty advisor, anything that you'd like to say? Okay.
Looking forward to a great semester.
Yep. All right, and I've introduced myself. I'm Scott Skinner, I'm the president, and just marching right along. These are the slots that we're going to need replacements for. This slot is optional. Club historian, we'd love to have somebody to keep us on track. We don't currently, and it would be create your own position. And I've been told that possibly Debbie, our volunteer secretary who takes care of all of the certificates, is interested in serving through the end of the semester. So we will need a replacement for her as she is fourth semester, but it doesn't have to be now. Anybody who's interested in being vice president?
Or know someone who is.
Or know someone who is. We have one nomination of John from
John.
East Campus.
Yeah, John.
Campus.
Yeah.
Second semesters, you're the ones who are ready for this.
Someone, Irene Johnson, I feel like might be interested.
Yeah.
Okay.
I second the motion.
Yeah.
Cassie, you have a list of names?
No, but Irene would be good. I can.
Okay, Irene and John?
But make sure that she wants to
Yes.
actually be
Yeah.
nominated.
Yeah.
So since you're nominating her, are you, I'm sorry, I didn't catch your name.
Jenna?
Jenna, thanks. Would you, Jenna, get a hold of her and make sure that that nomination is appropriate? And
Her
then
number and everything.
get back to the secretary? We need to make a survey monkey. That's generally how we vote. It allows all the people who can't get here for whatever reason to have a say in the group. There are quite a few people that you're not going to meet this semester because they have clinicals this day. But you'll see them in some of the events. Okay, Shelley has served faithfully as our treasurer as long as I've been around, but she's on her way out too, so is anybody else interested in being the treasurer? Or know somebody who is? It's not a very time-consuming job, but it takes a lot of accuracy and a lot of coordination. Is there anything you'd like to say about being treasurer that would encourage them?
One of the things that was lacking when I took over office is there wasn't anything to pass down from one secretary to the next. And I've made a binder. It's not perfect, but I've made a binder. And instead of me holding on to it, and I don't need it after I'm not doing this anymore, I'm going to pass that on to whoever takes over office. And I've got all the documents saved. I've revamped everything and updated everything so that whoever takes over it this semester, it's already set up for this semester. So you only have to worry about, the following semesters as far as moving forms around and all of that. And I would be willing to train whoever wants to do it if they're not familiar with Excel and how the spreadsheets work. I'm totally fine with showing you guys all that. The main thing for me is that my daughter's graduating from high school the same month we're graduating from here, and I have a gazillion other things going on. Plus, when preceptorship starts, I may or may not be able to make it to another meeting. So I don't want to leave the club hanging. So I'm willing to serve until we get a replacement, but I'd really like that replacement to come sooner rather than later.
This would be a good
Can
idea.
I ask you guys a question?
Sure.
Because last semester, you guys had all your meetings on the day that I had clinicals, so there was no way I could.
When I was the vice
That was
president
my
last
other-
semester, they did it to me too. Just
So,
sometimes
yeah, that
that's
was
how
the
it works out.
question is, these officers, are they gonna have to be at every meeting and then
No,
something
no,
happens?
I didn't make one meeting last semester as the vice president. I just couldn't. But
And I didn't know if you have any idea of what days of the week you're gonna be having meetings on yet.
it looks like Friday morning is going to be one of the few times that Ms. Mitchell and I are both available, so it will probably be Friday mornings.
That's better than clinical days.
Yeah. Are we still going to have the informal meetings at an offsite location?
I think so.
Okay.
We had an officers meeting last week just to get all of our ducks in a row. And that's open to anybody who feels like coming, but it's very informal.
The Facebook page, do you guys keep current on what's going on with that? Plus we'll send out emails. And like, for instance, Cassie was is our main secretary, and she couldn't make it to any meetings because of clinicals either. But we wanted to make sure she could still do her thing, so we recorded every single meeting, and she came and got the recording and went ahead and typed up the minutes. So I counted that as if she was here at every single meeting, because she
Certainly worked for it.
basically was. And then we
Right.
conference called her in, and Miss Mitchell in the officers meeting. So we'll work with you. We want to make sure
Yeah.
this club keeps going, because it's important.
We're all completely aware of how nuts it is trying to get through this program, and it would be silly of us not to cut through the same slack that we need. So, yeah.
I'm making a YouTube and put a link up too, so.
Hi, Mom.
And by the way, congratulations, Mr. President.
Oh, thank you. For what? For making my first meeting in 6 months. All right.
And no, for becoming president now.
All right.
You didn't have to wait till 4th, so it's awesome.
That's cool.
Okay, so we have anybody who's interested in treasurer. That's probably the second most important thing we're doing today. Just a little.
I'm a possibility of it. I gotta figure out what all
Yeah, tell us what it entails.
Shelley?
I don't know how much meeting time you want to spend on that, but
Let's do it in less than 5 minutes.
basically, the sheet that's going around, you have to keep that current. When there's changes made on it, you need to update the master, and you need to send that out to all the members. Sometimes I was helping out the president because he couldn't come, so I did a lot of extra stuff that you probably won't have to do now. So the main thing is collecting the applications, collecting the funds and or receipts, keeping track of the financial end of it, and you will need to make deposits. We keep about $50, we might reduce that, in petty cash for whatever might come up that they get that's reimbursable. You need to run that through the president and Ms. Mitchell to make sure that it's something that will be reimbursed by our funds. And you need to then submit that information in the meeting or via email if you can't make it to a meeting, and let them know, because it's something that's supposed to go in our minutes of what the funds are that we have both in our main account and also in the petty cash. And as far as that goes, Debbie helped out immensely with the certificates, but keeping track of the events and what people do is part of the membership secretary, because that's on my little sheet. But then once that's all complete, and it's, you know, the end of the semester is coming, and it's time for certificates to be done, then you pass all that on to Debbie. And then she'll take care of doing the certificates.
Shelley, what about moving that over to her position in total so that people who are doing events report back to her? And then that's off your shoulders.
She was checking on a lot of things with everyone, but if they check it on the sheet, then it's there. The problem is that we had a lack of documentation, and the ball was kind of dropped in 2013. And when Ashley, not Ashley Carter, the other Ashley, when she took over membership secretary, they didn't give her anything, so she was like trying to muddle along, and then, you know, it just didn't work out.
Okay.
So if people keep up to date on that, then that's fine. And as far as verifying who gets what, you know, all I'm doing is updating the log
Okay.
and the little check marks.
So are there any other questions you have about treasurer? Do we have a volunteer?
I'd be okay with it.
Okay, then I'll do it. Scott, why don't you-
Okay, we can work on it together.
you still want to do it?
All right.
There are 2 other nominations. I resign.
Let's work on let's work on it together. You
And the
know.
most
He does a
time-consuming
lot of
part,
membership stuff, or I mean the certificate stuff.
Yeah.
yeah, the most time-consuming part is when you're moving things around, preparing for the next semester, which I've already done. I've already lined up who's graduating and put that on a separate page so that we know who to look for chords.
Honestly, Scott, you do such a good job with the blood drive, and you had talked about taking over from Debbie when she retires if we don't have a replacement. I appreciate somebody else to take over the secretary job.
Yeah.
To keep things a little more spread out.
Yeah, because last semester I was going to do it, but I kind of started thinking about it, and I thought, hey, it's probably better to have someone who's, in the third semester or whatever to do it, because then that gives them a chance to put something on the line for their resume, or whatever.
The slack, if that's not so hard.
Yeah, it's good.
You're interested in being
Sure,
treasurer?
good with Excel.
And I just want to say Shelley's done such an outstanding job getting that.
Thanks.
She just really squared it away, so it makes it a lot easier for the next.
Okay, great. The other position was one Miss Mitchell brought up yesterday to me, and I thought it was a good idea. A club historian, someone who's willing to go back over the records and go ahead.
Would that include like photographing events and documenting what we do and all that kind of stuff?
I like that idea. We haven't really discussed it all out, but that makes a lot of sense.
Okay. I'd like to do that.
You'd like to do it?
I second the motion.
Okay. So unless we get more nominations, you'll be passed by acclaim. It's hard to be defeated when you're the only nominee. We do have 2 nominees for vice president, and we'll put that up on a SurveyMonkey this week to close next Wednesday, and then we'll have an answer. And thank you for your willingness to serve. We'll do an officers meeting this coming week when everybody can get together to answer any questions you might have.
Yeah, and everyone's welcome to the officer meeting, right?
Right.
Yeah, it's not.
We do closed meetings.
Yeah, it's not a.
It's
Yeah.
just a casual time when we can all get together, drink coffee, and talk really loud.
Yeah, we usually go to Starbucks 60.
Meeting, so
Yeah.
I don't have to be here.
Yeah,
That's the big.
That's the big.
Miss Mitchell gets a day off.
It was kind
Right.
of nice.
That's what I came up with.
Right.
Okay.
It's just on, I'd like a phone call and y'all let me know how things are going and, all that good stuff.
Okay, upcoming events. These are things that were talked about at the officers meeting as things we are doing or things we potentially could do, and they certainly are not the limit to the list. We are nurses. We are independently motivated. We are responsible to ourselves and our communities, which means get off your butt, and if you feel something needs to be done, do it. For instance, Cassie decided that she's going to do a drive to benefit the local veterans. She doesn't know what yet. You'll all hear about it when it happens, but she's elected herself coordinator for that, and she's going to do it in the name of SNA and for the benefit of our community. So these events, the blood drives, Scott's going to tell us about that real quick.
Yeah, I want everyone to know that we have these different flyers and things, but they had us set up with Whataburger, and then I had to tell them, hey, we don't have a Whataburger anymore. This is a promotion, so he's going to fix that. And they also had the wrong date on here, so we're kind of slowly get it all figured out. But what I do is I solicit to individuals over in the diner and just get them all in to the room. So I fill the room just on my own, and if you guys know anyone who wants to donate blood, by all means, go to bloodhero.com. Yeah, and that's where you can sign up for the blood drive. Okay, but I usually can get 80 people, but the more the merrier. Definitely. And but the main thing I really need desperately is just I just need nursing student bodies to be there between 8 a.m. and 2 p.m. on Monday. So check your Monday schedule, because the second semester's kind of messed up for that. So
What Monday?
Monday, the 23rd of March.
So there's some time here.
Yeah. So I'm just gonna pass these out real quick.
2 potential positions here. If somebody wanted to take over coordinating for the day, certainly would be a big load off of Scott's shoulders. Someone to be in and out. I did it at the blood drive about 8 months ago. I popped in and out through the day, made sure the volunteers showed up, called the volunteers the day ahead of time, made sure they knew when their shifts that they'd signed up were for, and then made sure that they got there. That's a very important position. Comes with a different certificate, and then if you just have an hour, sign up to be a volunteer. Pop in, man the refreshment table, chit-chat with your friends, talk to the people who have given blood, tell them they did a good job, because they did. definitely volunteer. Our group is of 3 parts. It's volunteerism to help the community, it's fundraising to support the projects that we want to do for ourselves, and it's enrichment for ourselves. And we're going to try and fulfill all 3 parts this semester. Okay, the American Nurse movie. This was handed to me the day before yesterday. It's supposed to be a very enlightening movie, a very important and impactful movie about nursing in America. It's going to be going on in Building 4, and on the 12th. We've been asked to provide people to work the refreshments table. I have no idea how many we're going to need for that. I would imagine 2 or 3. There's a sign-up sheet. I would like somebody to take charge and coordinate it and arrange for the volunteers and make sure it all happens. Shelley?
The refreshments table, so does that mean if you're working the refreshment table, you don't get to see the movie, or is it just in between, like beginning and after?
I don't know.
That'd be up to the coordinator probably.
The coordinator would need to find these things out. We don't have a significant amount of information here, so somebody needs to take charge and find out who's in charge of this and provide what's needed. Remember, nurses, we do that thing. Figure out what's wrong, we fix it. Okay? Did you have more information on this?
That's all I have right now.
Me
is
too.
that They want SNA to be in charge of the refreshment table.
And we will have more research available in future meetings, but at this one, this is what we have. And if you're willing to coordinate on this, you get a certificate that declares so, which looks really good in your resume, and you get a chance to practice being in charge. It's a difficult task. If you're interested, there is a sign-up sheet for it. Even if you're not going to volunteer, I suggest going to see this. The reviews I've heard say it's something wonderful that you're going to remember for years. Doctors Without Borders is doing the pandemic games. Limited understanding from just reading the printouts, but my understanding is it's an all-day trauma and triage game where you go as teams and you deal with trauma situations.
1 hour commitment.
1 hour commitment. They'd like teams of at least 2. But you can come with as many of your friends as you want. And it's a game that's right up our skill set.
They do want you to schedule, I'm sorry, I should read.
No, go ahead.
Jeremy said that if you do show up as just 1 person, then he'll pair you up with somebody, but 2 is best.
Okay.
The game's only doing 4 people at one time,
Okay.
because it's like a brand new thing. They're hoping it's going to become an annual thing. Right now, it's just to raise awareness, but eventually they want to start making it into more of a fundraiser and make it bigger. So this is kind of like a testing the waters to see if it's something that they can get going. So
Is there a cost, or we just show up?
there is no cost. It is free, and you do need to call Jeremy. I don't know if his contact information is on there, but it's not Jeremy Gray. It's Jeremy, I can't pronounce his last name. But at any rate, it starts with a P. Jeremy P. in Building 1, and he will actually schedule you because they're only taking 4 at a time, so he wants to schedule it.
Okay. This sounds like a lot of fun to me. I'll be attending you guys. Depending on your bent in nursing, this might really tickle your fancy. It's worth a certificate for volunteering. It's worth being part of what could become a very large event to generate money for Doctors Without Borders, a good cause. Questions? This is an upcoming event this week. It happens every semester. The clubs and the activity, the student, I want to say student council, that's not right, student leadership group puts on activities. It's out here in the quad. If we're interested in putting together a table for SNA, we can arrange that. We need somebody to coordinate it. I'm going to go back on that over and over again. I want you to step up and take charge of some event and flex your muscles. So this is available if anybody's interested. If not, it's going to slip past us and we won't do anything about it. This one seems important to me. We're low on funds. We haven't done a significant amount of fundraisers in the last semester. it was brought up that if we put out a shirt that wasn't college specific, or perhaps a hoodie, that appealed to the Yavapai nurses as a whole, something in the range of Yavapai nursing, a logo that is reminiscent of our college, because a lot of the nurses in our area come from our college. And then we would have these to sell. We'd really like to have someone spearhead this, do some of the artwork, and get a good-looking thing together. We can invest money in printing some of these. We need a group to decide whether or not it's a t-shirt or a hoodie or bumper stickers or what. But we'd like to have them ready by the American Nurse Movie night, because we're going to have people there doing refreshments. We can start our sales that night and start generating some cash.
I know that you need the volunteers still, but I thought Kelly was coordinating that. Kelly Rose?
I haven't been able to get a hold of her.
Oh, you haven't?
I haven't. If she is, that's great.
I can text her. I've got her.
Okay. Yeah, there were limits to what I could get done. I didn't get
No,
all that.
I understand. I just didn't.
Okay, so if she's coordinating it, then we're looking for people to help finish the design for the shirts and do the sales and come up with the ideas of what we think would actually work. Ms. Mitchell's idea of a hoodie sounds really good. It's something that people are likely to wear year after year.
Are we gonna vote on that as a group of what to do if we wanna sell the t-shirts or hoodies? Are we
Yeah.
gonna put that to a vote?
I think we should, but I think first we'll need to hear back from people about, if we've got somebody planning on this, if Kelly's working on it, we need something to vote on.
Well, we voted
So-
on it last semester.
So it is-
She just didn't have time,
I
and she
see.
said she would do it this semester.
Is it reasonable to expect her to have something done within the next week and a half?
I'll ask her.
Okay. So I'll get back to you all by email and check on the SNA Facebook, and we'll
Since
keep you
we're
abreast of
already
what's happening.
doing a survey monkey thing,
Mhm.
do you just want to add it to it?
Sure, I'd like to
You
know
sell
who's
T-shirts
interested.
or hoodies, and let people just go in and vote, and then that would be something Kelly has to work with.
Sounds good. You should remember that this is the only fundraiser that we've got set up right now. We could use some more. As it is, we have expenses in the way of cords and the lamp of wisdom for the pinning ceremony. We need to generate income from somewhere if we're to have anything to work with. Comments? Questions?
I have a comment.
Sure.
Hoodies run like $35, $40. I don't think, I wouldn't put $40 into like some sweatshirt that supports some organization that, like, unless it has something really witty or cute on it. So, like, whoever is designing it needs to be creative or settle for a loss if we decide on a hoodie.
Okay.
I like the idea of a bumper sticker. I think t-shirts are overdone. Hoodies are too expensive.
And generally, people don't wear T-shirts with logos on them out in public, certainly not small-time logos. You know, pink is big, but that's taken, so you're in trouble for that. But yeah.
For a t-shirt idea, like when the 19 firefighters happened, we did like a thing on the internet that I could post to Facebook, and it benefits whatever you kind of do, called Teespring.
Okay.
So, and it kind of, like whatever, and it has cool logos. And I'm pretty sure there's a nursing one too, and we could just kind of put it related to, I don't know, you guys said not related to the college, just nursing?
Well, we didn't want to
Or-
be too specific. 2016, Yavapai College student nurses is a pretty limited group.
Yeah.
We were thinking something to appeal to the Yavapai County nurses as a whole. People who work here, people who study here.
Yavapai County nurses poverty with the view.
Well, I could.
I mean, it made you guys laugh.
Yes, it did.
I don't know if she's doing a t-shirt thing, but maybe if she was to find that website, the reason we got so many sales on the firefighting t-shirts, well, that was a huge thing, but, we were able to post it to Facebook page, and if all of us, had that link to post it, all of our nursing friends or, our nursing
So you have some
community-
experience with this.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I don't know if she wants to collaborate with me, or, because I could probably, work on that too.
What's the website, and I'll send it to her with this.
It's
You know-
Teespring, I'm pretty sure.
Shelley, do this.
Yay, S-P-R-I-N-G.
It's TESPRING.
Why don't you post Kelly's email address to the Facebook, and you can get a hold of that and get in contact with her. I'm certain that with it taking this long that she doesn't have a solid idea for it. So maybe some input would help her.
I don't know what she's decided. I haven't talked to her about it since last semester.
Weren't there already t-shirts? What happened to those? Or-
There's been talk for a year and a half.
But I've seen them, like, that was for past, it was for like past.
And I haven't seen them, so I don't know.
It said like something maybe on the back, like, no sleep, something, something in all Thirst lingo or something. So, I didn't know if they already was a thing or if you wanted
I haven't heard of one. Did any come to you through records? A club historian could dig that up for us. Yes, I'm sure lots of things have been done. The SNA has been around for a long time, but we don't have those records. Or I don't have those records.
I just seen them, so it's been like a year.
If you see someone with a shirt on like that, just ask them to give you the shirt.
Miss Windsor might know.
Miss Windsor might know.
I mean, I was just thinking about something simple like Yavapai nurses or Yavapai nursing, something like that, because then other nurses might buy them rather than just the clubs.
Well, that was one of the things we discussed the last couple of semesters, is if you put student nurse on there, most people, once they graduate, aren't never going to want to wear it again, so they
Exactly.
wanted to
You
steer
don't want to
away
be
from that,
identified as a
you
student
know.
nurse once you graduate.
Right.
It's too obvious anyway, so.
Remember that sticker you gave us that said, "Be nice to me, I may be your
Yeah.
nurse someday"?
That's right. Those are those. There's quite a bit of stickers on Zazzle.com.
Okay.
So
That's cute.
And if
So
we wanted to
see-
do the bumper sticker thing, we could do several different sayings.
like here's some examples. Like nursing is cool. It's a little penguin, and then I'm a student nurse. We need coffee. Or keep calm, pass NCLEX. There's just all sorts of things on Zazzle that could be inspirational.
I think the bumper stickers are a good idea, but how much money is that going to raise for our club? And really, the whole thing is the fundraiser to make money for the club.
Yes.
And the bumper stickers might be an extra, but really to put some money in the club, so we have the money to do stuff. I think we need to think a little bit bigger.
The only thing is we need to make sure we're not competing with anything that's already on campus. So if they sell it anywhere else on campus, we can't do it.
Okay.
So the t-shirts, we're making those unique, so it's not going to say Yavapai College on it. It's going to be specific to nursing, so that's fine. And the same with doing any food fundraisers. We can't sell anything here that they sell up there.
Okay.
If they,
If we were to have like a bumper sticker or something, is there any way we could sell it in the bookstore? Would that be my conclusion?
I don't know.
I don't know. You could ask. The worst they can say is no.
Just like Yavapai College nursing or something, because I have it like volleyball and basketball and baseball.
Right. The thing would be to ask them, what the profit margin would look like. And that might be a nice ongoing thing, since nurses arrive here regularly. That might really be good. Are you interested in looking into that? Great, we'd like to report to you. I would start by talking to whoever's in charge of the bookstore. Or you can start by talking to Kayla's mom at the cashier.
which she'll direct you to.
I have an idea. I
Okay.
don't know how great of an idea it is, but I have an idea. Not this last pinning ceremony, but the one before. Scott Baxter had his nice camera and everything set up, and he put on pictures for people can just get them for free. What if we did it as a fundraiser type thing, and we could raise money that way? Because he's had a really nice setup, and people are all dressed up in their graduation clothes. There was no one taking professional photos. Like this last nursing ceremony, he didn't bring his camera, and I assumed he was going to be there, so I didn't bring mine. So nobody from SNA was taking photos. And I thought it was a fantastic idea, especially when he had it set up really nice, because people are there with their family members that are coming across country and whatnot. you know, wouldn't that be nice to say like, you know, this is for, you know, fundraiser, suggested donation of whatever. And then if they want to give more, hey, that's great. If they want to just get the minimums, they can download a picture, whatever. And you know, if we're not printing anything, it doesn't cost us anything extra. You know, so they can, you know, for $5 or whatever, they get the rights to the picture and they can download it.
I like that idea. Any other comments? Scott, are you volunteering?
I'll do it.
Volunteering, Ms. Windsor, is there any problem with that you have? Please check with Ms. Wright.
I will.
Thanks.
I'll volunteer on that with Scott because I have a degree in photography, which gives
Awesome.
it a degree of legitimacy.
Glad to hear it. Feel free to put up a sign-up sheet if you need any volunteers to help you arrange all that.
You'll need to make sure you
Ms.
have a
Johnson is
spot
taking
where they'll let you
over.
do it too.
Ms. Johnson is taking over.
You tried to do it outside and then the weather didn't cooperate, right?
I just do ad hoc arrangement. You know, it's like I say, hey, I sit right behind the faculty row. You know, the faculty row's in front. I just sit right there, and then we just sort of had a little chat with the graduates. You know, and just say like, okay, you know, whoever is giving you the pin and the kiss or whatever, just briefly turn this way and pause and just watch me, and then I give you the thumbs up, and then they go down the way. See, it's really easy.
Right, but if you guys set up a nice little background, they could actually pose with their extended family who's not up on stage as well.
Afterwards.
Right.
So yeah, you got 2 rounds to
Or
change
even
it there.
before.
It's a good idea.
It's a great idea.
Yeah, that's a great idea.
I'd pay that.
Sure. Sure.
And if you were asking for little, but it was a suggested donation, I might be willing to pay more. It's when you try to siphon it out of me, I get mad. If I give it up willingly, then I'm cool with it.
Right. Yeah.
Is the suggested donation thing, I am on the other side of the spectrum from you because there's so much stuff in Prescott with all the colleges that are suggested donations. But like, I don't even give them money. I don't even go. Like, if it's a suggested donation.
Okay,
if
well,
I have
maybe
to
we
pay,
should
I
throw
will
that up.
pay.
So if the 2 of you are going to work on this,
We'll work on it.
you have time. It's 3 months away. Get your plan together, and then bring it back to the group and let us know what you're going to do. And if we're all happy with it, then it's a go.
Yeah,
I just keep the cost low if you're going to make it.
Sarah and was it Ashley? Good. You two both have an interest in this fundraiser. Can I trust you to make some motion on it?
What exactly is happening in the store? Do you want me to do?
Well, Kelly is already working on the shirts. You need to get a hold of her.
I texted her.
You need to get some slogans, talk to the people in your class, talk to the people in the group, and come up with some amusing stuff. Talk to the store. I have a connect out in Chino for having bumper stickers or whatever printed. So we can get some prices on that. At the moment, I mean, these are all great ideas, and unless somebody takes it and runs with it, it's not doing us any good.
Oh, don't forget the scrub sale.
Right?
That's fundraising.
So if you two would exchange information and brainstorm for 2 weeks and then get back to us and let us know. Okay.
And we're gonna vote on the survey monkey if people want t-shirts or hoodies or bumper stickers.
Yeah.
Add the bumper stickers to it, and maybe do a hoodie or shirt and a bumper sticker.
Yeah.
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 What if they have the magnet deals? I don't like bumper stickers.
I won't put them.
Okay.
I'll put a
Let's,
magnet on my car.
here's the thing. What we need first is something worth printing, and then we can worry about the venue. So since brainstorming doesn't cost us anything, don't worry about the Survey Monkey. Come up with something that we'd like to see printed, and that might have a slightly bigger market size than SNA alone.
Let's set a deadline though for somebody to present that at y'all's officers meeting. So we don't run out of time and we get something printed, if we're gonna do it by
You're right.
the American Nurse Day.
And that's on the
28.
27th?
It's February 1.
Oh, okay. So we need to know, we'd need an answer by
Next week.
next Friday.
Next Friday.
Okay,
And who do I present to?
call me.
Yeah,
I'll
talk
call
to the
everybody.
officers and then y'all need to run it through me so I can get the design approved.
So let's plan on an officers meeting next Friday morning, just short and sweet, cover this, and maybe we can even do it all over the phone.
So officers
I don't know. We'll pick a place, but let's move on. We're running out of the time that I'd like to spend here. Sorry, I have things to do today. So the thing I was supposed to mention again is that all the scrubs have been donated by graduating students, and they're $2.50 a piece, $5 for the jackets. Please feel free to outfit yourself with extra scrubs. We know we all love green.
Some of them already have patches on them too.
And that's a bonus too, you don't have to do the sewing. National Nursing Convention. This occurs in April.
Yes.
We'd really like to send some people. In the past, it's happened to send officers and cover their way. If we have a lot of people who are interested in going, I'd say we just share the funds around to make it affordable for everybody. It's down in Phoenix, and it's a 2 or 3 day event.
It's like 3 days, I think.
And yeah, a lot of the conferences cost to get into, but it's an incredible networking opportunity. These are the people that we're going to be working with for the next 20 years, and this is a great time to get to know some of them.
Is it every year in Phoenix, or is it this year being held in Phoenix?
It's this year being held in.
Okay.
Wasn't it like in Texas before or something?
Yeah, well,
Like
the
first
year
semester?
I went when I was a student was in Cincinnati, Ohio.
I think it was
so,
like in.
yeah.
And there is a state convention every year in Phoenix, but the nationals are there this year, and it's you know, if you're ready to stretch out and be more than just a nursing student, this is a good place to start. So this is one of the reasons for fundraising. We want you to keep it in your head, and we'll have more information as things develop.
Do we know the exact dates of it yet?
Yes, and I don't have them with me.
While you're talking, you may pull it up.
Great.
If somebody gives it to me later.
How are you looking it up?
Okay, pinning ceremony. It's in May. I'd really love someone to spearhead this, someone to take charge of it. There is, Ms. Johnson will be our faculty advisor, and she will certainly have ideas about how she wants to do it herself, but these are our peers. These are these guys. And we want to make their pinning ceremony as special as all the rest of them have been. And honestly, last semester they were much noisier. So we need some volunteers to make it happen. We need somebody in charge of it. Sign-up sheets are here. Feel free to volunteer to do that. Comments, questions?
I have the
Rude
date
noises?
for
Cool.
the convention. It's April 8th to the 12th, so it's 5 days.
Okay.
You wouldn't have to go all of the days, do you?
I don't plan on going 5
No.
days. Are you kidding? That's right before finals. Who can afford that much
Go
time?
like 1 or 2 days. if you
It's the weekend before we have 2 tests.
Yeah.
There's a daily price.
So one whole day might be real good for me.
And there is an NCLEX review there.
Is there?
Carpool. Anybody going? Good. Okay. The canned food drive has been done in every semester that I've heard about. It isn't necessarily a club event, although we'd like to sanction it. It takes somebody who's interested in making this happen and doing the work. Somebody who can gather a couple of helpers and to make this happen. Any food bank would be more than thrilled with what you have to donate. So if this is something that appeals to you, then by all means, there's a sign-up sheet. Make yourself the coordinator, make it happen.
Erica was the coordinator last semester, so you might check and see if she's still
Good.
wanting to.
Erica Gallup, she's,
The
Is that
only,
clinical with it?
the only thing I would add to that is she didn't put any in building 1, and then employees usually like to help and give food, and they were only in this building.
She
I
was
asked,
having problems with them allowing her to do certain things,
Yeah.
and I don't remember what the
She
details
just
were.
couldn't find somebody, they weren't there that day or something.
She
Okay.
said there was too many boxes in there.
so there's more efforts that can be made in this direction to do good for our community.
They made the paper last semester.
Nice. And the food bank should give you a nice letter of thanks, which would look awfully good in your resume.
Yeah, it was Erica Gallup and Valerie, I can't remember if she pronounced it, Jandron.
Okay?
Those were the two who did it.
Indeed, it doesn't have to be one coordinator. If 2 of you want to get together and do it, that's great.
I would be more than willing to help with that if someone could help me have 2 coordinators at the same time. I was in 4-H for like 13 years as a kid, and for at least 10 of those years, I was the leader for being the canned food drive.
Huh?
So I've got a lot of ideas and things that I've tried before that do and don't work, but I do know that it's absolutely huge. I generally never went small with it. We do at least 3,000 pounds of food, sometimes more than that, but I can't do that by myself. So if somebody wants to coordinate that with me, I will help, but if I'm not going to have help, I'm not doing it.
If you need physical help, I have a truck, and that's not a problem. Just
And
borrow my
I
truck.
would get in contact with
I just asked her.
Erica, because if she still wants to do it, then, I mean,
That's great.
that would be great. You guys could all partner up, and even if Valerie still wants to do it too, the three of you, I mean, I don't see how
That
that
sounds
would hurt
really good.
anything. It sounds like it would just make it better.
Okay.
The only rule we really have here is that we're here to help the community. And anything that falls under that works. We're not going to get hidebound about ways and means. If you can make it happen, if you're willing to be the motivation behind it, that's perfect.
Okay.
And I just asked her.
Anyone? Anyone? Okay.
I just asked her.
Um,
if she's still-
Cassie is arranging for a couple of panelists for 2 weeks from now on a Friday who are graduate students, graduated last semester, to come and talk to us. I'm going to try and arrange for a senior nurse to come on the same day, somebody who's been out in the field for a few years at least, to give us some ideas of what we can expect when we graduate and how to get to graduation and what the world is like outside there. And it'll be a big question and answer session, and that'll be most of the meeting. Questions?
Do we need a room for that?
We need a room for that, 2 weeks, Friday, 9 a.m. I'll get back to you in paper, that way it doesn't get forgotten.
And I told her we had to clear everything.
So I haven't signed up a senior nurse, so if any of your family members or friends have been in the field for a while and are interested in coming, that would be great.
We have a date on this?
February 6th.
2 weeks from today, Friday morning, 9 o'clock. Okay.
Yeah, February 6th.
I want to table this until next time. Last year, we decided not to be a national SNA charter member. I don't have all the information on it, and we've been here a while, and everybody's starting to look a little glazed.